Hi, and welcome to the next episode of Naria Lemaire Show. And I'm your host, Naria. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. And if you're new, I'd love to schedule a free phone call with you just to learn about your goals. That is it. I would love to learn about you. Remember, guys, a lot of my content is from your ideas, it comes from what you're struggling with, what questions you have. Feel free to reach out. My email, narialamera@gmail.com. Nice and easy. Now, I am a registered dietitian who specializes in weight management, gut health, and overall wellness. So today, let's get right into the new episode. Now, I wanted to talk about something that's so nice and easy and almost like fresh, almost too easy to where people don't give it its credit. Yes, walking. I'm not saying necessarily count all your steps, which is important, but honestly, guys, taking a walk can be vital for your mental health, hormonal health, and weight. Now, years ago when I started at, let's see, I think I just graduated from undergrad, and I'm thinking, okay, I need to do something else during lunch versus sitting. I'm sitting all day. I need to get up and move. So I started this really super baby new habit of walking. I'm talking about I would walk, I think it was like 5-10 minutes. It was so short, but I'm thinking I need to just get some steps in. I need to get some sun. I just need to go and like get out the office and just like move my legs for a little bit. They started with a few minutes. Now I will say most of the times I would ask my coworkers if they wanted to go. 90% of the times they would say no. So I was used to just going alone and being in my own thoughts, which is fine. Now during this time, I would go out there, and it started from 5 to 10 minutes, grew to 30, and now I do maybe during when I want to just get out, maybe 40 minutes to an hour. I'm not saying I do it every day, but I do it most days. If it's cold outside or something is happening outside, I'll open my window, and yes, even if it's raining, so I can hear the raindrops, which is also soothing, and I'll get on my treadmill. If I don't feel like getting on the treadmill because it could be boring, I don't know if you're team treadmill or not, but my vote is it gets a little boring. So I'll do some other activity. Maybe I'll do a hit workout. I'll do some type of kickboxing or something else that will get my heart to do its thing. But I started very small, guys, very small. And what I've noticed is throughout the years, just walking, even during the times that I couldn't work out or I didn't work out, should I say, for whatever reason, I was able to keep the walking has led to a few pounds off, maybe like 1 to 5. Um, and I noticed when I would stop walking, those 5 pounds or those 1 to 5 pounds would just automatically go back independently of anything else. Wouldn't change my diet, wouldn't change anything else. I would just stop walking. And that walking was only, again, 15 to maybe now 40 minutes, but back then it was 15 to 30 minutes. I started nice and small. Guys, when you're working on your health goals, if you're working on weight loss, start small, especially if you're not working out right now. You can say, hey, Nari, I used to do this before, but I'm starting over. I used to do this before starting over. Let's try a different approach. Let's try an approach that doesn't involve starting over, right? Think about flexibility. I slightly touched on this on the last episode, but think about flexibility. Think about it is not an all or nothing type deal. Some days I can walk, some days I don't have to walk. You want to be flexible with these things. You don't want to just fully stop everything and say, okay, I'll just wait till life's perfect or this stops, because it could be months or years before whatever's happening is going to get better. So we want to be flexible. Hey, I can't walk for 30 minutes anymore, but you know what? I can do 5 minutes. I can get 5 minutes of sun, get some steps in. I can do that. Guys, you have to be flexible. When you're starting with it, start once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Start nice and easy. You can even split them up. Many times when I have my clients who haven't started working out, and I have a goal of them of, let's say, a goal of doing 40 minutes of walking, and maybe they have a lot of pain, we'll split them up. Let's do 15, 20 here, let's do 20 here. Or we can do 10, 10, 10, 10, however works for you. But the point is, let's get our bodies up and let's get moving. That's it. Just developing a habit of triggering your mind of, oh, you know what? It's about that time. I need to go take a quick walk. I need to take a quick walk. Now, this, yes, it'll help with your weight management goals in the long run, right? So I always tell my clients, we need to disconnect the physical activity with the weight. We need to disconnect those. Because if you just do or participate in physical activity for the habit of it, you'll see that your day-to-day benefits are going to be your mood. You're going to feel better. And it's also going to help with hormone regulation. Remember that sunlight exposure is huge. So that's a big one. Those are the day-to-day benefits. The long run or long-term type of benefits, yes, improving the body composition. But the day to day, it helps you feel better. I can't tell you how many times I just wake up in a like a mood. I'm human. That happens to me. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, dude, I feel like my negative aura affecting me. And of course, it's going to affect my family. Let me just go do quick 5 to, maybe 20 minutes. If I have time, I'll do 30 minutes of something. Let me just do something. And 9 out of 10 times, or even 10 out of 10, I come back like a new person. My husband's like, dang, like, wow, that's what, a little bit of activity does for you. Like, girl, go get some more workout clothes because obviously you need it. Right? But start small, friends. If you're starting on this health journey, I invite you to start with something that's realistic, that's sustainable, and like I mentioned, that's attractive and that's easy. Something nice and easy. Going outside, getting those steps in, make it nice and easy. Now, for me personally, another way that I like to make it easy for myself is having half of my living room just workout stuff. Just workout stuff. Again, for those rainy days, or maybe the kids are sick and I can't leave the house, or whatever the reason is and I can't leave the house, or the kids are on vacation, whatever it is, there's always a way to do some type of physical activity. I used to go to the gym, but being honest, as a mom, for me, it was too stressful to you know, let me be done with all my work stuff at 4 to 5, and then let me go to the gym. I won't be done to the gym maybe until like 7, and then it's so forth. And even before then, it's like the kids need to eat, so I need to make sure that they have something. My husband's, maybe working late and so forth. So it was too stressful for me, and especially given that we made some changes, I felt like, okay, what's going to reduce my stress? Because remember, friends, stress is not good. What's going to ease my stress and make me want to do this activity? Because when I would think of, oh, I have to go do this, I have to rush, I have to do this, I can't do this, I have to park, I have to whatever, the attractiveness of being active was just like, ew. But when I started to say, hey, like I like to do something that's inside the house, something that's easy. While my kids are doing their thing, while they're doing their homework, while they're eating, whatever, I could be doing this. Or while they're doing this, I could be working out. I have 30 minutes here. So instead of taking those 30 minutes and driving to the gym or driving, parking, waiting for the machines, not the most patient person, I'm just going to do 30 minutes in my house. I could have 30 minutes of waiting for a machine, especially in the New Year's. Friends, let's be honest. How many times have you gone to the gym early in the year and it's like packed, which is great. I absolutely love that people are out there getting healthy. But me, again, personally, when I think of attractiveness to wanting to be active, waiting 10, 20 minutes for a machine isn't attractive to me personally. Like if it's your thing and you're cool with it, 100% love it. But you have to think what works for you. What works for your neighbor, for your friend. It may just peeking here that it's on. It may not work for you. You guys have different schedules. Maybe you have pets. They don't have pets. Maybe they have kids. You don't have kids. Maybe you have to take care of your mom or dad. Maybe they don't. And the list continues. You have to do what works for you. And what I've seen is nice and easy. A lot of people just neglect walking. Many times you can wake up 20 minutes earlier, go take a quick walk around your house or the block or the park, and then come back in. Sunlight exposure, getting a few of those steps in, starting to move the body right before everything happens. Friends, when you think of how am I going to approach this, don't overcomplicate it. Simplify it. If you're thinking or considering something and you have some type of anxiety or stress, I want you to just take a breather and think, how can I simplify this? How can I simplify it? And I want you to go to the most simplest form you can think of, and I want you to start there. And again, if walking for 5 minutes a day is your start point, love it. Absolutely love it. I can tell you that's where I started a while ago. And it was a start for me. It was a habit. Hey, you know what? Let me go get these quick 5 minutes. They're like, 5 minutes is nothing. A lot of my coworkers, why are you giving me for 5 minutes? It's nothing. Well, it may sound like nothing, but I can tell you I'm working on building habits. And guess what? Old habits do not leave easily. So, in order to create new habits, you have to be consistent. You have to be patient. You have to just keep doing it. It's honestly, friends, the boring things that lead to success. It's not the fun stuff, maybe the glorious, the bright stars. No, it's the tedious, the day to day things that really lead to that success. Even as a business owner, it's all fun and games, but being in it day to day, it's not butterflies and rainbows every day. It's the same thing with the weight management goals. Patience and consistency. Patience and consistency. That's really the thing with most things in life. Think about it. Where you're at today, maybe a really cool position at your job, or something that you feel proud of. How did you get there? Did it happen overnight, or was it through patience and consistency? Because most of the time it's going to be through those guys, friend, through those two. So what I want you to do today is sit down and even journal, or have like a wall, or something that you're writing your plans, and whatever goal you have, I want you to simplify it and think, how can I make this easy and attractive? And how can I simplify this to where I'm going to want to do it, or I'm more likely to do it? Because the easier you make something, the more likely you're going to do it. Don't start at level 10 when you haven't even done level 1 and 2. I can't tell you how many times people want to just start at level 10. And when it comes to weight loss, and I'm talking about sustainable weight loss, I'm not asking if you've done diets before, even though, of course, I need to know that. But in order for me to know that this is going to be sustainable for you, we need to do step 1. And after step 1 and you're good, step 2. You're good. We built that foundation. It's strong. Okay, cool. Step 3, right? Because once you get to that step 10, everything else is, you've built such a strong foundation that you know what's going to help you stay at that level. At being consistent, being patient, having that flexibility. Friends, I don't know why most individuals neglect flexibility. When you're starting your health goals, be flexible. Years ago, maybe about 14 years ago, I was a vegetarian for, oh my gosh, maybe 10 plus years. And I was so strict with my diet. I have to do this. I have to do this. And then I thought one day, why do I do this? Like, I feel so stressed some days. I can't eat this. My protein is low. Like, I'm not happy right now. This is getting really annoying, not attractive, not freaking easy. Like, dude, hold your horses, Mari. Like, what are you going to do for it to be sustainable? Flexitarian, adopting the Mediterranean. That works for me, right? So there's some foods that I limit, some foods that I have a ball with, especially my fiber containing foods, but there's no food that's off limits. If you're my client, you already know there's no good food or bad food, but you have to go back and think, what are your goals and how can you make it sustainable for yourself? Habit creation, environmental cues. You're going to open the door for your house, and what are you going to look at that's going to cue you to act? It's going to be your water bottle to drink the water. Is it going to be a yoga mat on the floor to cue you to act and work out? What is it? Because you have to make it easy. You have to make it, you can't escape from that. Friends, it's not going to be all fun and games all the time. People are going to question some things, but make it easy, make it simple. Remember, you're in it for the long run, and because you are, you have to be patient with it and know that everything you're doing is building up for something. We're not here for the short-term results. We're here for the delayed gratification that nobody wants to wait for. But if you decide to wait, when that time comes, you're going to be one in a few that are going to be reaping those benefits. So, friends, today I invite you to start something easy, like taking a walk, getting some sunlight exposure, getting some steps in, and building a new habit. All right, comment below. Let me know if you're going to start a new habit. Is it going to be walking? Anything else you're going to start with today? And what I'm very curious to know is, how are those few first minutes going to start of that new behavior? How will the first 2 to 3 minutes of the walking, of the setting up your workout, whatever it is, how are those few minutes going to look like? How are you going to simplify it? And how are you going to make it attractive for yourself? So that way you're going to want to do it. All right, friends, till next time. Bye.
And don't forget to subscribe.